That is a 1,000-year-old temple right in the center of Shanghai. The summer tourists have arrived, and this is one of the most touristy areas of the city. It's a beautiful day, so let's take a nice walk around. This is Jing'an Temple. It is a must visit whenever you come to Shanghai. This is a very, very popular shopping area, a lot of food, and a 1,000-year-old temple. If this is the first time you've ever watched one of my videos, I live here in Shanghai, and I would genuinely love to know, if you've never seen the streets of China before, what do you think they look like? Because I'm going to show you in today's video, and I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. We are definitely in one of the most modern areas of the city. Like I said, it's extremely touristy here, but it is very, very not what people expect. It is a Thursday at 4:35. Jing'an Temple does have its own metro station, lines 2, 7, and 14. There are so many foreign tourists in Shanghai right now, and of course so many Chinese tourists because the kids have now broken up from school. Yes, these flowers are completely real. They're gonna line every single street in this area. Makes the area very, very beautiful, but something that doesn't make the area beautiful is the traffic. There is always so much traffic in this area. Many foreigners actually choose to live in Jing'an, and I would not want to live in this area. It's always so busy. No, thank you. The weather is very, very overcast today, which is great because it's been so hot here in Shanghai recently, but we're currently in the middle of the rainy season. So it has been non-stop raining for like 2 weeks now. So it feels good to get a little bit of a break, and the temperature right now is very, very nice. There goes the bikes and scooters. Gotta be really careful. There is no rules. I've never seen a Teletubbies bus before. Look at that. Why? I have no idea why. Here are those scooters. People literally park them wherever they want. I do have my own electric scooter. I filmed a few videos. If you want to check that out, it's so much fun having a scooter, but the roads are crazy. One thing about police cars, the lights are always on. The sirens are on when they go to an emergency, but the lights are always on. Again, I don't know why, but this area, it's very, very modern, but there's no real modern apartments. Like all the houses and apartments around here, they're all super duper old, so there's no really new places to live, but there's a lot of new shopping malls everywhere shopping. And coffee shops. That's one of the smallest coffee shops I've ever seen in my life. Shanghai, China is the city with the most coffee shops in the entire world. There's one literally next door as well. Shanghai is actually very, very green. There's so many beautiful parks everywhere. So let me talk about tourists for a second, because the tourism right now is at an all-time high. There's so many tourists here. So in terms of the foreign tourists, I've never been a kind of person to be like, you're a foreigner, I'm a foreigner, let's be friends, let's talk, I've never ever done that. I kind of avoid foreigners, to be honest, because I don't want to go all the way to China and talk to British people. Maybe that makes me a bad person, maybe that makes me a bad foreigner, but I don't want to do that. This area is actually really interesting because there's a lot of brand stores here, like very, very expensive stuff, and the average wage in China, in Shanghai, is very, very low, so the average Chinese person, they can't shop at these stores, so they're definitely aimed at tourists. That's not a diss, I'm not making fun of these people, that's just the truth. But you can see, it's a very, very beautiful area of Shanghai. It's really, really cool. It's very nice, very clean, just like the rest of the city. You are not going to see homeless people here. You're not going to see trash on the street. Every single area of Shanghai is looked after very, very well, which is the way it should be. Let me show you coffee shops again. There is one there. I see another one there. And there's one there. There are so many coffee shops in Shanghai. They do not need any more. If you're opening a business in Shanghai, don't make it a coffee shop. And there's another one there. Too many. But the tourists that come to this area, they definitely go to Jing'an Temple, which is back there. But definitely take some time to walk around too. It's a very, very beautiful area. Very modern. Another coffee shop there. You can definitely get the same brands here in Shanghai that you have in New York or London. Let me step inside the shopping mall and let me show you what they are like. You'll be surprised. Okay, so yes, we are in a touristy area, but this is not a special shopping mall. Every single shopping mall in Shanghai looks like this. Look at it. It is incredible. They're all like this. You can go to a non-touristy area and they're still going to be as beautiful as this. They're still going to have all the stores. It is mind-blowing. Going to a shopping mall in China is definitely an experience in itself. Look at this place. They tell me that shopping malls are dying in the US and the UK, but they're definitely not dying here. They are extremely popular. People definitely love to shop here. People just like to walk around, to be honest, and they're incredible. Look at it. Wow. There's an information desk. Let me see if she speaks English. I don't know if she's going to. Hello. Are there restaurants here? Restaurants. 3? Okay, thank you. There are so many brands I've never even heard of. I have no idea where most of these brands are from. Of course, I've heard of the Dior and Ralph Lauren and stuff like that, but wow, I'm blown away every time I come to any shopping mall. It's just another coffee shop. Looks like a very fancy one. Let's get out of here. Cartier. Please tell me if the shopping malls where you live look like that, because I bet they don't. Let's keep walking. The weather is beautiful today. It's been so hot. Yes, that is Burberry chess. We have some more beautiful, fresh, real flowers. No, nobody's gonna steal them or vandalize them. We don't do that here. So this area doesn't really show the real China or the real Shanghai, to be honest. It's a very, very, very nice area. I love taking a walk around here, especially at night. It looks very, very beautiful at night, but it doesn't really represent China. None of the touristy areas represent Shanghai, to be honest, so you kind of have to get out of those areas to see the real Shanghai. I guess it's the same as any major city, right? You have to get away from the tourism, and then you'll see the real place. Currently walking along Nanjing Road, West Nanjing Road, and it is 5:10. This is one of the reasons why I would not want to live in this area. There is just always traffic all day long, and you got scooters that are trying to get through. They can't get through, so they have to go on the sidewalk. Just makes it crazy. But look at the buildings across the street. You can see that the bottom is of course stores and restaurants, but above is still the older buildings. So there are some newer office blocks here, but if you want to live here, you're definitely going to be living in an old building. Not many new apartment buildings here in this area. If you visited Shanghai, I'm sure you went to East Nanjing Road, but this is West Nanjing Road. Definitely underrated, I think. A lot of people miss it, but it is a really, really cool area. If you've been watching these videos since I arrived in Shanghai in January, I filmed one of my first videos here. That was like, what, 5 months ago now? So this is the first time I've been back since then. It's actually a really, really cool area, but it, of course, is very, very touristy. A lot of shopping, a lot of restaurants, a lot of coffee shops. This one's actually tea. But yeah, I have not been here since January. I filmed that video, and you know where I'm heading. If you watch that video, you know there's something extremely cool over here, very, very unique, and we're gonna go see it. Again, I can show you the buildings. These are old buildings, they're not new. Of course, they're taken care of very well, but there is a market here. Every night there's a permanent street market here. You can get some delicious food. Maybe we get a snack or two. But at the end of this street, there is something very surprising. Again, it's another cool place to come at nighttime. Everything's lit up and the street food is very, very delicious here. There's some really, really delicious bakeries here. So definitely come and get donuts and cakes. Delicious. China does have World Cup fever, but there is a big problem with the World Cup and being in China. I've watched all of the England games, but they're like 4 o'clock in the morning, 4 a.m. because of the time difference from the games are in America. So I've had to wake up so early, but I've been dedicated and I'm watching every single England game. I don't care what time they are, but definitely people are excited for the World Cup here in China, even though China is not in it. Let's get something from here. They look delicious. So one of the best things about Shanghai and China is food is extremely affordable. It is very, very, very expensive to live in Shanghai. Like my rent is very, very high, pretty much the same as London or New York, but the food is very, very delicious. We are in one of the most touristy areas of the city, but I got two, one chicken and one beef. They're like Chinese burgers. See the meat inside? This was $1 each. $1, 7 yuan. It's crazy. This is the same anywhere you go. Street food is going to be extremely, extremely affordable. Chinese food in general, you go to any Chinese restaurant, it's going to be very, very affordable. But that was absolutely delicious. Put that in Times Square and they are $5 each, but not here. And this was my view whilst enjoying my delicious snacks. Let's keep walking. We have something very interesting to see. So this is going to sound pretty arrogant and selfish, but it makes me really happy to see a lot of foreign tourists here because it makes me happy that I live in a place that people actually want to visit. And it's so bad that I've not been here for 5 months because this is all over the internet. I'm sure so many people had this on their list of things to visit whenever they come to Shanghai, and I can come here whenever I want and I choose not to. It's kind of strange, but this is something that you don't see every day. There is a big ship right in the middle of the street. Look at that thing. That is a Louis Vuitton store. You can go inside. And then right in front of it is, I think it's the 3rd biggest Starbucks in the world. Maybe a 2nd. But look at that thing. Isn't that crazy? There are so many photographers here doing some professional pictures. Look at that. I remember coming here, maybe it was like the 2nd week that I arrived in Shanghai in January, because I remember walking down the street and I got a Starbucks from that Starbucks right there. And I was so excited about life in Shanghai, and now it's pretty normal to me. But it's going to be lighting up soon. I assume it's going to be at 7 because that is when the sun sets. So very, very soon. Pretty cool, right? I hope it looks cool on the video because in real life it does not even look real. And there's that big Starbucks. We got some LV luggage too. Look at that thing. Isn't that crazy? I have never been inside here, so let's go inside. Look at that. How do you build something like that? I have no idea. Wow. Of course, there's another famous one in New York City, which is luggage. It's huge luggage, but here they have a ship. Wow. Let's check out this more. I think it's going to be just as impressive as the last one. And of course, it is. Incredible. Again, a lot of designer stuff. GB David, who's that? I don't know. Well, there he is. Always blown away by shopping malls. It sounds strange to get excited to see shopping malls, but honestly, if you ever come here, you have to see a couple of them because they're always so cool. Once again, please tell me if the shopping malls where you live look like this. I bet they don't. They definitely don't look like this where I live. Ralph Lauren. I hear music. Let's follow the music. Hang on a minute, Soy. Follow that tune. I have no idea what's going on, but this stuff is so cool. It's all about pop mart. Isn't that so cool? They must have a promotion or something going on. Very nice. How did they get that car in there? It's magic, I think. It's a Tesla store. Let me see how much this cost. These cars are absolutely beautiful. Look at that. They're so cool. I want a Tesla. Someone's gonna have to let me know how much a new Tesla costs in the US, but a brand new Tesla, Shanghai, China, today is around 200,000 Chinese yuan. That is about 30,000 US dollars. $30,000. I guarantee that is way cheaper here than in the US. I've actually never been this side of the ship before. I had no idea that cars drive underneath it. I didn't know that. Look at that thing. Wow. Look at the size of this thing. It is massive. I don't think you can go up there, but that would be a very, very cool view. Let's touch it. It is so clean, it is shiny. Wow, very nice. So if you want to come and see the ship, it is West Nanjing Road. There's a metro station right there. It is exit 11. That is the market street that I walked along. And you can come and see the Louis Vuitton ship. Let's keep walking along West Nanjing Road. More beautiful flowers. There's a big problem during the summer when the kids have finished school because everywhere is going to be so busy. It is so difficult to travel inside China during the summer. Number one is the weather, because it is so hot everywhere, especially Shanghai. Shanghai is going to be over 100 degrees every single day without fail, but the crowds are just incredible. Anywhere you go during the summer, it's going to be crowded. So I would not recommend coming to China in general during the summer. Teletubbies bus again. Still don't know why. Post boxes in China are green. There it goes. Another thing Shanghai does not have a shortage of, it is parks. They are all beautiful. The last time I counted there was about 1 million, but this is People's Park. All right, let me sit for 1 second and let me tell you something very, very interesting and unique that happens here in People's Park every single Saturday. This is something that I would love to share with you because I don't know any other place in the world that it happens apart from here. But I would not be filming a video of it, and there's a good reason for that, because something happens here every Saturday called the marriage market, and people come and advertise their sons and daughters trying to find them a husband or a wife. And when I say sons and daughters, they are not children. They are 20 years old, 30, 40 years old sometimes, but this is all about the parents. They want to be grandparents, they want grandchildren, and most of the time the children don't like that the parents do this. And of course, I'm sure they know that they come here and advertise them, but a lot of them, they don't like it because they're out there having a career and studying and maybe traveling the world and yeah, focusing on other stuff. But it's all about the parents wanting to have grandkids, and it happens right here. So you'll literally see so many people standing on the side here, holding a piece of paper with all the information about their child. It will literally be if they have a car, it will be where they work, it will be how much money they make, how much they weigh, their eye color, their hair color, their height. They will go into so much detail because they're very, very, very desperate to find a spouse for their child. Sometimes the child doesn't want the spouse right now in their life because of course I've seen it. I've come here and I've seen it, but I'm not going to film a video of it because it's not something that I feel like should be broadcast to the world. And a lot of foreign tourists come here and they film it because it is very, very famous. And it's just not something that I agree with. I don't want to come and film people in their, I guess, desperate times, because they're very, very desperate to have grandchildren. That's what it's all about. And of course they want their child to be loved and to find a partner, but it's usually they're just very, very desperate to have grandchildren. So a few people have asked me about the marriage market. Yes, I've seen it, of course I have. It's very, very interesting. I love coming here and seeing the people kind of, sounds bad, but advertise their children. But it's, yeah, I'm not going to film a video of it just because I don't agree with that. So there's some other foreigners that film videos of them, so you can go and watch it if you want. But it happens right here every Saturday. People's Park, Shanghai, China. This is a very beautiful park anyway, so if you ever visit Shanghai, definitely come and see the marriage market. But of course, respect the people. Don't just go invading their privacy, because some of the videos that I've seen from the marriage market from these foreigners, they literally like film the papers, and it's like they have some like personal information on there, like phone numbers, and yeah, sometimes it has pictures and stuff, and it's just not something that I want to film. But definitely come and see it. Come and see the park anyway. It's a very, very big and beautiful park. It's pretty surprising actually, because I kind of understand it if they're like maybe touching 40 and it's like, okay, I've worked so hard on my career, or I've traveled the world for the last 15 years, whatever, and I just haven't had time, I haven't met the right person, so maybe I come here and I try and find the right person. But I remember coming here and like some of the children that they're advertising, they're like 20 years old. It's like, let them live a little bit, you know, like they literally just started their life. Maybe they just graduated from university and the parents are already looking for a spouse. Like it's pretty crazy, to be honest, but it's definitely a unique thing to see. So definitely come to People's Park and come and see it. But of course, remember, it is not a tourist attraction. They are real people, so give them respect. I've not been here for so long. I've not been in this park for years and years and years, but it is a very, very, very nice park. A lot of older people are doing their walks right now. They're doing their exercise. There's so many little pathways to walk along. So many beautiful gardens. Springtime at People's Park is incredible. So many beautiful flowers and trees, and the cherry blossoms is very nice. But we are downtown right now. We are very, very much downtown. One of my favorite things to do in Shanghai is just walk around the park, because it is so peaceful. It is so peaceful, and I hate talking about this stuff, but there's no trash here, there's no homeless here, nobody's fighting, nobody's playing loud music, nobody's threatening people, it is not dangerous, there's kids playing here. It is so different from going to a park in the UK and the US. It's such a different experience, and it blows my mind, honestly, because this is what every single park in the world should be like. So peaceful, so clean, so safe. Like, what is the reason that we can't just walk around a park in the evening and enjoy the beautiful weather? Like, it's kind of sad, to be honest, but that is what life is like in China. Not only Shanghai. Don't think this is only Shanghai, no. I've been to some very, very small cities and small villages, and of course the people need somewhere to go and relax, and there's beautiful parks everywhere. And I want to say it again, why shouldn't there be? Why are the parks dirty? Why are they dangerous? Why is there people threatening people? Why is there loud music? Why is there bad stuff going on there? I don't get it, but it doesn't happen here. This is something that I do remember the last time I came here. It's a little fairground. Got a roller coaster there, got a carousel, got some other smaller rides here. I assume this is only open during the weekend, and then when the weather is good, I assume it's open every day for the kids to come while they're off school. Kind of creepy when there's nobody here. Sometimes I definitely get a reality check that I'm in China, and reading the signs reminds me that I'm in China. Sounds weird, but there's a sign, no climbing. And let me show you a fully Chinese sign here. Look at that. Blows my mind that people can look at that and it makes sense to them. I can read some of it, but definitely not all of it. So let me give you more proof that this is a high trust society. Look, all of the rides are just left open. Like, I can go in there, there's nothing stopping me going in there, breaking stuff, stealing stuff, vandalizing anything. Like, all of these rides are still open. But we don't do that here. Why do we do it? there? Why do we do it where I live? Why do we do it where you live? Doesn't make any sense to me. Anyway, China. It's amazing what your mind remembers, because I remember coming here, it's gotta be maybe 2019 or something, and I remember sitting on one of these benches. It was when I just arrived in China and I was like, what am I doing in China? And I probably have not been here since then. Blows my mind. Definitely get some small reminders pretty much every day that I live in China. I can't believe it. Like, how did I end up here at this point in my life? I don't know. Every day is an adventure. Something interesting to think about. For some reason, whenever a Chinese person sees a foreigner in China, they assume that they speak English. And of course I do, but some people don't. Like, how do they know I'm not Spanish and I don't speak English? Because there's this influencer guy, I think he's from Russia, but he's like fluent in Chinese and of course fluent in Russian, but he doesn't speak that good English. So whenever someone sees him in China, they want to speak English to him because they see a foreigner and they assume that he speaks English. So he always has to tell them, like, no, let's speak Mandarin because my Mandarin is better than my English. So just something to think about. But this is downtown Shanghai. And I had no idea this was here, but Mi Shui Bing Chang. This is only the greatest thing in the entire world. I was gonna get an ice cream, but there's one guy working in there and he's going crazy. He has so many orders, so I'm not gonna get an ice cream. Just across the street from the park is a church. There's a church there. But this is the street where I took my first ever Chinese classes. So when I first arrived in Shanghai, I had Chinese class just down there. Look at that. That is beautiful. Sun sets at 7 p.m. So just over there is the main shopping pedestrian street in Shanghai called Nanjing Road. If you walk along Nanjing Road, it's going to take you to the Bund. That is where the skyline is, but I'm not going to go there in today's video. I'm going to jump on the Shanghai Metro and head home. I really hope that you enjoyed this walk in Shanghai, one of the most incredible cities in the world. I'd love to know. Please write a comment and tell me something that you're surprised to see in China, because I'm sure people have this image of China in their head and they don't know what it really looks like. Maybe they've never been here before, so I'm glad I could be the one to show you what the real China looks like, because this is it. I'm literally in China right now. I just point my camera, film what I see, talk about my experiences, and I hope that you find it interesting. So please write a comment, tell me anything, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Goodbye. 再见.